Hello Taffins, in this video I'm going to be showing you how TrendBot works, what are the risks and profit parameters, and how you can maximize TrendBot for profit. Now if you're seeing on my screen, I have a TrendBot running on CTSI that I started 7th of July yesterday, and right now it has made over $105 profit, and it's currently in a trade. If you look down here in a trade, it's currently on $22 profit on the current trade with a $5,000 capital. Now, a couple of things you want to note about TrendBot that's quite different from other bots. Number one of them is you see I'm using a large capital in one bot. Now, unlike Matinge bot where you need to break your capital into several bots and the rest, for TrendBot you don't necessarily need to do that. So you can have a large capital running on just one bot, and that will be fine to make a lot of profit and also has a good capital security. Now we're also going to talk about the capital security of TrendBot. If I do edit my bot, you can see that there's absolutely no settings and my strategy period is 1, and this is because when TrendBot is running, it's running for the best of profit. Means one trade could go as far as 50% profit or even 100% profit if the market is really volatile. Now what you need to note is the level of profit you're going to make in TrendBot is depending on how volatile the market is. If a market is highly volatile, in 1 hour you could make 100% profit. If it's not and the market is static, it might take a couple days. So you need to note that it's not going to be about just your TrendBot as it relates to the profit. Is going to be about choosing the trending market. Now this is why you don't want to have strategy period 100 or 1000 and all of that, because if a market is downtrending, there's no need to go back to that market. So always my strategy period is always 1. So ensure that after I do take that large profit of 20, 30, 40% or whichever, I want to stop the bot right away. The third thing to note is the risk level. Now you can see on my account, I'm using a high risk, high reward strategy settings and risk level. Now, a couple of things to note. TrendBot parameters are pretty fixed and they're static. So what this means is you can directly know when a trade is going to be in your favor or when it's not going to be in your favor, and it's very pretty clear. So if you're going for a high risk, high reward setup, your bot can go over 50%, 100% profit and more. Now what you also need to note is if a market does go against you with a 50% pump. Now you want to note that a 50% pump or dump against your strategy, then your TrendBot will be calling off that trade for a stop loss. Now, a market going 50% and continuously going against you, then it's going to cause a stop loss. But if a market goes 50% or 49.9% and does a reversal back in your favor, you're going to make a lot of profit. When I mean a lot, you could get over 300% profit from just one trade. So you want to note that when selecting the high risk is if a market ever goes 50% pump, and I do not mean 50% against your trade. So if you look over here, this is my CTSI running right now on the TrendBot. Now the market had gone way over 50% earlier, not 50% in the PNL. So you don't want to look at the real to say my real is 50%. So this is not about the real, it's about the percentage movement of the market. So if you look at CTSI at the top here, you're going to see that it is currently 18%. So if you started when it was 0 and then it has gone to 18, then that's 18%. So if it goes as far as 50% pump or dump in the market, then you could have a stop loss if the market doesn't reverse after that. But if that doesn't happen, you're fully fine. Now this is a 1 in 10 occasion for a market to go straight with 50%. The market must be extreme pump and dump for that to happen. So you have to be very clear about that. So if I go straight back into my account, I want to refresh this. Let's see what profit my TrendBot is currently on. So I'm on $42 profit right now, which is getting to about 1% of my total capital. But TrendBot has taken this profit, but it's not closing this trade yet because the goal is for the best of profit the market can give. So if a market is trendy, you just want to sit, relax. The profit is just going to keep growing, like you see over here, from $20 to $40 to $100, and then it keeps going overboard. Now, if you go back and you're using the low risk, what you want to note is a market will need to go way over 120% for you to hit a stop loss. So that is something really, really amazing. So when you do select any of this system, your risk is very, very specific, and reward ratios, they are very, very specific. There's no guesswork to it. You just know when the market is going to favor you or when it's not going to favor you, and you can decide to even cut it off at any point. Now, if at any point that you do decide that a market has gone maybe 49% against you, you believe it's still going to be in your favor, where you can make a large amount of profit, and you do not want your trend bot to hit a stop loss, what you want to do is to go to the state of the bot and switch it to pause. Now, when you do switch your trend bot to pause, it's going to hold this current trade. It's going to keep tracking the market. It will not hit a stop loss on it. If once the trade gets back in profit, then it's going to take a profit on it, but never a stop loss on it. So you can also control how your trend bot manages your stop loss at any point to be able to pause it. If you believe that a market has gone 100%, a market has gone 100%, had the capacity to dump 80% low. We've seen that happen with Lena and the rest of the market. Now, on our part in trend bots, the risk levels are pretty specific. So if that happens, it's going to call off the trade. But your bot state gives you the capacity to control should your trend bot stop a trade with a stop loss or hold the trade if you believe you can manage that trade and it's going to be in your favor. So those are a lot of awesome stuff about TrendBot. So next thing you want to look forward to is you could be seeing your TrendBot showing profits over here on the upward or downward direction and is not closing it. Now, that a market is on 50% profit doesn't mean TrendBot is going to close it. Now, what TrendBot does is to follow the market trend. If this market is going to go up to 50%, it wants to follow it to the last part where the trend at the top using the technical analysis exhausts itself and this market is no longer in the upward direction. Then it starts taking profit on the upward direction little by little until it totally fades into a bearish movement, and then it can decide to shut down your whole trade for up to 150% or 200% profit depending on how far the market goes. So you want to sit relax and watch how your trend bot works, and you also want to use these few points on this video to manage your trend bot. Always go for markets that are very, very trending, markets that has high volatility. They are always going up and down. Those markets are going to make you a whole lot of money. So if your trend bot has not made profit within the last 24 hours, what you want to watch it for is if the market you selected is still trending, or if it has not reached up to the profit. So for example, your trend bot at any point could be stuck at this 2% profit that I have over here, $42, and the market is no longer trending. At that point, you can also decide if you do not want that to turn it off, and it's going to take that profit and restart. But it is always best to let a market follow its full trend, and you're going to be making, instead of 2% profit in one trade, you're going to be thinking about 50% profit and more of your total capital. So I hope this helps someone. Once again, happy trading, Tafas.